Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. MTG Box Analysis here to take another look at Wilds of Eldraine, one of my favorite sets in most recent years. We're going to go ahead and crack it open, put the prices of all the rares and mythics on the screen, see what kind of value we can find. At the end of the video, we'll do our traditional MTG Box Analysis and compare this to one that we opened up about 2 months ago. So, we've got ourselves the kind of insert here, which tells us about the set. And then we've got 36 draft boosters here that contain cards from Wilds of Eldraine, as well as the Enchanting Tales subset. And that's where, to be honest, a lot of the value is. So with that, let's go ahead and crack these open. We do have pull tabs, which means they're Japanese printed. So we'll go ahead and go through a few full packs, and then we'll just start skipping through to the rares and mythics. So we got ourselves a fairy token, followed by a swamp. And then we're going to see ourselves a ground seal from the Enchanting Tales subset, with a Twinning Twins coming in as our rare. Then we're going to see ourselves the Royal Treatment, followed by a Soul Guide Lantern. Then we get a Cheeky House Mouse, an Armory Mice, a Ministrosity, Moment of Valor, an Unruly Catapult with a Spider Food, a Bellowing Bruiser. Then we're going to see Rowan's Grim Search with a Mocking Sprite and a Cooped Up in the back. So there you go, one pack down. Let's go ahead and jump into pack number 2. Currently, from the main set, there are 2 uncommons that are at $1. So we'll go ahead and see if we can't find those. We're looking for Monstrous Rage out of red and Up the Beanstalk out of green. So we've got ourselves a food here, followed by an island. And then we're going to see a Garruk's Uprising coming in foil from the Enchanting Tales, with a Knightly Valor in non-foil. And then we're going to see ourselves an Extraordinary Journey coming in as our rare from the main set, with a Twisted Fealty, a Bitter Chill, a Welcome to Sweet Tooth. Then we're going to see a Prophetic Prism, Unassuming Sage, Candy Trail, Territorial Witchstalker, Merry Bards with Not Dead After All. Then we're going to see a Storm-Killed Prowler with a Shatter the Oath coming in at the back. All right, so I think that's enough of the main set. We'll kind of maybe read the first common, but I'll start skipping through so this doesn't become a super long video. So we got ourselves a Knight here, followed by a Full Art Swamp. And then we're going to see ourselves a Bellowing Bruiser coming in foil, followed by a Sanguine Bond coming in from the Enchanting Tales subset. Does hold some value as a rare. And behind it, we're going to see ourselves the Apprentice's Folly coming in as another rare from the main set, with a Discerning Financier, a Tattered Ratter, and then a Lord Skitter's Butcher with a Warehouse Tabby coming in as our first common. All right, moving into our next pack here. Looks like we're going to have a non-token token to kick this one off. Then we're going to see ourselves a Standard Mountain with a Dragon Mantle. And then we've got ourselves a Restless Cottage coming in from the land cycle. Unfortunately, the lands from the Enchanting Tales, not high value. And in fact, none of them are valued over $1. Then we're going to see Aret's Tempting Apple as our first uncommon, Succumb to the Cold, followed by a Witchstalker's Frenzy, and a Scarecrow Guide as our first common. All right, we got another non-token token. Not that the tokens have significant value, but we got ourselves an island, followed by an Aggravated Assault coming in. This is going to be a pretty decent hit from the Enchanting Tales subset. Hooray! And then we're going to see ourselves a Tangled Colony as our main set rare, with an Up the Beanstalk. That's one of the uncommons that we're on the lookout for. Then we've got ourselves a Disdainful Stroke with The Princess Takes Flight, and a Hopeless Nightmare as our first common. All right, this one kicks off with a Knight token, followed by a Standard Plains. Then we're going to see an Intangible Virtue with Italian's Messenger coming in as our main set rare, a Woodland Acolyte, a Tough Cookie, and Taken by Nightmares with a Ginger Brute. Ginger Brute, of course, coming from the first Eldraine set, and a fan favorite. All right, we got ourselves some food, followed by Full Art Mountain. Then we're going to see a Utopia Sprawl with Will, Scion of Peace, coming in as a mythic from the main set. Unfortunately, Will, not a high-value mythic, but still counts as a mythic. Then we're going to see Johan, Apprentice Sorcerer, with a Dutiful Griffin, and a Galvanic Giant in the back with a Stockpiling Celebrant as our first common. All right, moving into our next pack. This one's going to kick off with some more food. Lots of food in this particular set. So we got ourselves a Swamp, with a Raid Bombardment. And then we're going to see ourselves a Likeness Looter coming in as our main set rare, followed by Corvol and the Noble Thief, Sir Armont the Redeemer, a Twisted Sewer Witch, and a Bespotted Knight. All right, another non-token token. Watsy, you should really stop advertising. We already know what the product is, and if you gave us tokens, we could actually play with them. Got a Full Art Forest, followed by a Spiteful Hexmage coming in as our first rare foil of the box. And behind that, we're going to see ourselves a Leyline of Sanctity coming in from the Enchanting Tale subset, which means that we are going to get a third rare. It is Expel the Interlopers coming in from the main set. So that's how you get a triple rare pack. You need one in foil, one in Enchanting Tales, and then one from the main set. So we got a Tempest Heart, Knight of Sweet's Revenge, followed by a Picklock Prankster, and an Evolving Wilds. So 3 is the most that you can get in any one pack. It's not that common at all. So I'm glad to see that we got one of them. So we've got one of these Royal Young Hero tokens, followed by Full Art Plains. Then we're going to see the Tattered Ratter as an uncommon, followed by a Fraying Sanctity coming in from the Enchanting Tale subset, with Agatha of the Vile Cauldron coming in as a mythic. Unfortunately, this Agatha, not high value. We're looking for the colorless or artifact Agatha Soul Cauldron. That's the most valuable card in the set. So we got Greta Sweet Tooth Scourge with Back for Seconds, and then we're going to see a Shrouded Shepherd with a Living Lectern. 2 more packs in stack number 1. This one kicks off with a Monster Sorcerer, and then we're going to see an Island, followed by a Season of Growth, and then we're going to see a Scalding Viper coming in the showcase frame. Very nice. Love these. Love the way these look. Then we've got a Tanglespan Lookout with 3 Bowls of Porridge, a Stroke of Midnight, which used to be an uncommon valued over $1 but has dropped. Then we're going to see a Stockpiling Celebrant in the back there. All right, so I'll take just a second to fix my piles. All right, this one kicks off with a different variant of food. Then we're going to see ourselves a Plains with an Impact Tremors, and behind that we're going to see Lich Knight's Conquest coming in from the main set, not a high value rare. Then we're going to see the Red Tooth Vanguard, Agatha's Champion, and an Ashiok's Reaper with a Frostbridge Guard. All right, that takes us through 12 packs of the box, so let's just jump into the next 12 packs. Not a ton of value. We do have 2 mythics on the board, 1 foil rare, and 4 rares from the Enchanting Tale subset, but I think we can do way better. So we've got a Wicked Cursed, followed by a Forest. Then we're going to see the Princess Takes Flight in foil, followed by a Fiery Emancipation, another good rare from the Enchanting Tale subset. And then we're going to see the Werefox Bodyguard as our main set rare, an Eerie Interference, a Bitter Chill, and then Lord Skitter's Butcher with a Hopeful Vigil. All right, this next pack is going to kick off with a Beast token. And then we're going to see ourselves a Swamp with a Ground Seal. And our rare is going to be a Farsight Ritual, followed by Neva Stalked by Nightmares, a Graceful Takedown, and then we're going to see a Knight of Doves with a Charmed Clothier. Unfortunately, the main Wilds of Eldraine set, there just isn't a ton of value in there. You got Agatha Soul Cauldron, you've got Beseech the Mirror, you got Virtue of Persistence, Virtue of Strength. Those are really the cards that you're looking for. Everything else is just not high value, I'll say. All right, so this one kicks off with a food token, followed by a Plains. Then we're going to see ourselves a Dragon Mantle and a Devouring Sugar Maw as our rare. And then we're going to see the Edgewall Inn, followed by a Twisted Fealty, a Fairy Fencing, and our first common is the Frostbridge Guard again. All right, moving into our next pack, another ad card. Lots of these in this box for some reason. We're going to see ourselves a Forest with a Spreading Seas, and then we're going to see Asinine Antics coming in as a mythic, another non-high value mythic, followed by an Obriah Dreaming Duelist, Chancellor of Tales. Then we're going to see a Fairy Dream Thief with a Ginger Brute. All right, this next pack, more food, another mountain, Then we're going to see Leyline of Anticipation coming in. Yeah, this is the first time we've seen this one. I thought it was a duplicate. Then we're going to see ourselves an Elvish Archivist coming in as our rare with an Embereth Veteran, Troyan Gutsy Explorer, Princess Takes Flight, and Minestrosity as our first common. All right, this pack kicks off with a food token. Then we're going to have an island, followed by a Water Wings in foil. Then we're going to see ourselves a Knightly Valor, followed by Archon of the Wild Rose as our rare, with a Monstrous Rage. That's the other uncommon that we're looking for. Then we've got a Frolicking Familiar, the Witch's Vanity, Bespotted Knight as our first common. All right, so we're right around the halfway point. So far, not a great box. So we've got ourselves a Rat, followed by a Plains. Then we're going to see Compulsion with a Restless Spire, another rare land, the Tempting Apple, Boundary Lands Ranger, and Succumb to the Cold with a Protective Parents in the back. So really hoping that we do get lucky and we get to see some fire from the Enchanting, from the Enchanting Tale subset. So we got a Wicked Curse with a Swamp. Then we're going to see Utopia Sprawl. That's not it. And then Immodane, the Pyrohammer, coming in as our rare with a Spellscorn Cavern, Callous Sellsword, and a Gingerbread Hunter and Archon's Glory. All right, let me just take a quick second, clean up my pile of rares here, and then we'll keep going. So the number one card in the set that we'd be looking for would be Aristic Study. If we could find that in Animate Borderless, even better. We're also looking for Smothering Tide. We would take Bitter Blossom, Doubling Season, Parallel Lives. They're all available to us in this set. So we've got a Treasure with a Mountain. And then we're going to see ourselves a Phyrexian Unlife, our first rare Enchanting Tales coming in foil, followed by a Karmic Justice coming in as a non-foil. And then behind that, we're going to see the Iron Crag coming in as a main set rare. So, all right, we got ourselves another triple rare pack with Corval and the Noble Thief, Dutiful Griffin, a Witchstalker's Frenzy, and Johan's Stopgap coming in as our first common. All right, next up, we've got a Treasure, a Full Art Swamp, a Rowan's Grim Search in foil with an Oppression coming in as our rare from the Enchanting Tales. And then we're going to see Will Scion of Peace again, this time in the Borderless frame. Unfortunately, even in Borderless, not a high-value mythic. Then we're going to see the Picnic Ruiner with Johann Apprentice Sorcerer, Ashiok's Reaper, and an Unassuming Sage as our common. All right, this next pack starts off with a Royal Young Hero. Then we've got a Mountain, followed by an Intangible Virtue. And we're going to see a Spectre of Mortality coming in as our rare with a Red-Toothed Vanguard, Solitary Sanctuary, a Cursed Courtier, and a Rhyme for Reindeer. All right, moving into our last pack in stack number 2. So this should be pack number 24. We got ourselves a Wicked Cursed, followed by an Island. And then we're going to see an Impact Tremors with a Decadent Dragon coming in from the main set as our rare, with a Two-Headed Hunter, Shrouded Shepherd, a Gadwick's First Duel, and a Slumbering Keepguard as our common. Wow, okay, we are just not seeing any of the value in this box yet. All right, let's keep going. Let's cross our fingers and really hope the value in the upper left-hand corner dramatically increases before we get to pack 36. So we got a Rat with a Mountain. Then we're going to see an Ice Out in foil, followed by a Grasp of Fate. Then we're going to see the Gumdrop Poisoner, Picnic Ruiner, Boundary Lands Ranger with Gadwick's First Duel, and Gingerbread. All right, so lots of repeat uncommons and commons in that particular pack. This one's got a Mouse token, followed by a Forest. And then we're going to see ourselves a Stroke of Midnight. It might be valued over $1 in foil. Then we're going to see ourselves a Hardened Scales coming in from the Enchanting Tales with a Feral Encounter. Then we're going to see a Callous Sellsword with Hearth Elemental and a Glass Casket, followed by the Evolving Wilds. That was not the value we were looking for. So we got ourselves a Wicked, then we got ourselves a Swamp, got a Curiosity with a Spellbook Vendor coming in from the main set, Solitary Sanctuary, Shari of Numbing Depths with a Gallant Pie Wielder, and a Merfolk Coralsmith. I'm surprised we have not seen any anime borderless. Usually you get one per draft box, so maybe it's at the bottom. So we get a Wicked Curse with a Forest, and then we're going to see a Vampiric Rites, followed by a Restless Vinestalk, another land from the cycle, Totena Swarmpiper, Dream Spoilers, and an Ice Rot Sentry with a Crystal Grotto. Alright, so we got our first on an adventure here. So this is where you put your adventure cards when you're done with them. Then you got yourself a Swamp, followed by a Hatchling Plans, and we're going to see an Ingenious Prodigy coming in as our rare with a two-headed Hunter, Imodane's Recruiter, Curse Courier, and Moment of Valor. I think we're down to about 7 or 8 packs. Super nervous for the value of this box. Got the Treasure, got the Island, got ourselves a Sneak Attack coming in. Pretty decent mythic from the Enchanting Tales subset. And behind it, we're going to see ourselves Gruff Triplets with a Threadbind Clique, an Ego Drain. Then we got a High Fae Negotiator with an Unassuming Sage. All right, our next pack, got another adventure. Unfortunately, low value. Then we're going to see ourselves a Mountain with a Mana Flare coming in as our rare from Enchanting Tales, a Restless Bivouac, so rare land number 4, Stone Splitter Bolt, Discerning Financier, an Archive Dragon, and a Monstrosity. Come on, give me an anime borderless, make it a mythic, make it a Ristic Study. That's really what I want. So we got a monster, we got an island, we got a Dark Tutelage, and we got ourselves a Food Fight coming in as our rare, followed by a Howling Galefang, an Ash Party Crasher, a Tenacious Tome Seeker, and a Prophetic Prism. All right, we are down to 4 more chances, 4 more rolls of the die to see something amazing. Got a food token here with the Plains, and then we're going to see a Griffin Airy with a Regal Bunnicorn coming in as our rare, Soul Guide Lantern, Royal Treatment, followed by a Welcome the Sweet Tooth, and Protective Parents. 3 more packs. Got the Rat, got the Swamp, got a Voracious Vermin, followed by Garruk's Uprising. Then we're going to see a Cruel Somnophage coming in the showcase with a Collector's Vault, Cheeky House Mouse, a Storm-Killed Vanguard with an Archon's Glory. Wow, I am just blown away by the lack of value in this box. Got ourselves a Nightmare, followed by a Forest, and then we're going to see ourselves a Phosbane Troll foil rare, followed by a Kindred Discovery mythic coming in from the Enchanting Tales subset. Does hold some value for us. And then behind that, we're going to see ourselves the Goose Mother. Then we've got a Woodland Acolyte, another Up the Beanstalk with a Splashy Spellcaster, and a Warehouse Tabby. All right, final draft booster pack, and then we'll jump into the MTG box analysis. The value may not be here, but we can still see how much of the set we covered, what kind of duplication, and other metrics like that. So we got a food, followed by a mountain. Then we're going to see ourselves a Stab Wound, followed by an Ashiok Wicked Manipulator coming in as a mythic, but not a high value mythic here. Then we're going to see Ruby Daring Tracker, Belligerent of the Ball, Taken by Nightmares, Scarecrow Guide, Unassuming Sage, the Prophetic Prism, the Ferocious Werefox, Flick a Coin. Then we got a Titanic Growth, Rowan's Grim Search, an Ice Out, and our last card is a Vantress Transmuter. All right, so I'll get it all sorted, organized, priced, and analyzed, and here comes the MTG box analysis. Get early access to videos, download the analysis for every box open on the channel, and personally DM me, just like these fine people. All by becoming a member of the channel through YouTube or over at mtgboxanalysis.com. You'll find links in the description. Until next time, do something amazing.